I've always been kind of around country music. I mean, I have a dad that plays acoustic guitar, so I've always been around an acoustic. I've always known like 2 chords, and I kind of tried to hone that skill when I was 14, went out writing songs and went out playing shows. So playing since maybe I was 12, and then actually doing shows since I was 14 or 15. I non-stop think of lyrics. I'm not saying they're good. Like, oh, I'm a lyrical genius. I always think of lyrics. I'm saying like anything. If I say something to a friend, and like it could be anything, I'll stop in my head and I'll be like, oh my god, like, that might be a sweet lyric. Constantly, just lyrics are running through my mind. I've always been a huge fan of lyricism, and I think it's my favorite part about a song, which is why I can still listen to like genres I may not necessarily enjoy, like to listen to. I can still appreciate them for what they are, and like not only the musical talent but the lyrics. And I mean, a lot of the songs were written in a very dark place, where I just wasn't very happy, and they're very honest lyrics because they were instant. I didn't, I wrote them when I felt like that. I'm just an open book when I write songs, I guess is all I can really say. So there's not really a lot held back. Well, the specific song "Aware," a lot of people think it's a song about being in the friend zone, which is a very stupid term. It's not. It's the so-called friend zone is basically you try to get with a girl, she says no, and you say you're in the friend zone. Very fucking stupid. There's a difference between somebody messing with your mind and somebody saying blatantly no. This girl messed with my mind. Just told me she loved me. We were friends. We're not anymore. We were friends for 7 years. Told me she loved me, but would say all these things like, I love you, but we're just too good of friends. I can't be with you. Like, we're just too good of friends. But she would tell me that she's like in love with me like a week later. She would get drunk and call me and tell me, or like confess like her newfound love for me. And then we'd end up kissing or end up doing more than kissing. There was never one time I didn't want a relationship. And because, I did love her very much. And she just, she lied to a lot of people. So it's a very, like, I think she needs help, honestly, if that makes sense. And, that song is a very beautiful song. I almost wish I never told her I wrote about her, because it was my way of trying to, damn you stupid girl. Like, it's how I felt at the time. It's not that I think that she as a female is stupid. It's just that I think what she was doing was stupid. But I don't think about that. I don't try to figure out who I'm going to offend, or it's just honesty, and that's what the song was. Like, drop your guard, like, stop telling me you love me, then not be with me, just be with me. She said we are soulmates. If you understood how serious I'm being right now, or she said that we are soulmates, but she just can't be with me, if that makes sense. Like, it's a very fucked up situation. I'm sorry if I cursed, but it's a very messed up situation. And so I know I just talked a lot about it, but it's one of those things where it's so much more deeper than, oh, I want to bang this girl and she doesn't want to. Like, I'm gonna write a song about it and be sad. It's much deeper than that. And I don't think people give me enough credit. Oh, this song's about this. Like, he's a crybaby. It's just, it was my way of venting. It was my way of getting it out. Because I've been fucked over so much. And now when I say that, I would like to add the fact that I have fucked girls over too. There's a whole list of people that think like, I'm this like male chauvinist pig that like writes these fake songs that say I got fucked over when really like I fuck girls over them. I guess what they're trying to say in a really harsh way is I'm a human being. And what I'm trying to say is, when I get fucked over, I vent and I write a song. The girl that I fucked over has a different way of venting herself, which, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've never intentionally hurt a girl, but I definitely have a weird mind, and I definitely am very, I have a problem where I've been hurt so many times that I'll be with a girl or like be talking to a girl for 2 weeks maybe, and then I'll just be like, this is amazing, and then a day later I'm like, I'll end it just because I think it's gonna fuck up somehow, and I would rather, and it's cowardly and it's terrible, but it's honest, and I would rather run far away from something that could be good than to have another feeling in my body that made me write the song Drown. I don't ever want to feel that again. I've said this in many shows before, especially right before I played Island Mr. Boy. Island Mr. Boy was a song about suicide, and it was supposed to be my suicide note. So a lot of people hear that and think I'm suicidal. They think I'm going to be this like super sad. No, that was a very honest representation of how I felt when I wrote that song. It's not how I feel now. My parents split when I was 10, and me and my dad talk now. I'd like to make that clear. You know, me and my dad are on good terms. But you know, my dad split when I was 10. He kind of became a different person. He left my mom for the lady down the street, who also had a husband, and she left her husband for my dad. So two families got to split apart by their whole thing. He's still married to her to this day. But when I was 10 years old, I thought I had the absolute perfect life, and everything was like just amazing. Like, you know, there was nothing wrong. My biggest problem was, you know, Dad might not let me get pizza this Friday. I had, you know, the brand new game system as soon as it came out. I had, you know, the brand new game system with like 4 games, and I would get like a new $60 video game like every Friday, almost, it seems like. And then after that, you know, my dad, like, I'm not saying my life changed because I was spoiled, but like, I was so ignorant to like pain in the world. I don't think he ever hit me before, and you know, he hit me for the first time outside of my house because I flipped off his girlfriend. And he hit me pretty fucking hard, and my dad's never hit me. And it's like, and like, it was almost like you're a hero. Like, you see, it's almost like it'd be like, literally be like an 8-year-old kid like walking down the street and seeing a guy in a Batman costume like smoking a cigarette and like calling a girl a bitch. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's like someone like, oh my gosh, like you look up to and like you see this darkness in them that you never saw before. And after that is when I started being really suicidal, and sometimes I would stop and be like, oh, suicide's stupid. And 2 weeks later something would happen, or like something wouldn't go right, and I would just, you know, be there again. And then I thought about this, and you know, whoever's viewing or listening to this, you know, I would like, you know, them to do the same thing. But I thought about listing all my problems on a piece of paper. Like, you know, think about all your problems, list them on a piece of paper of why, the problems that you think are good enough for you to kill yourself if you're suicidal. Like, you know, what's wrong? Like, you know, like, oh, my dad, like, even as bad as, like, you know, my father died. Like, you know, my dad was you know, or my mom died, or my, like, it's not just death. Like, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, or saying, like, you know, someone, like, close to you died, like your brother, your daughter, your dad. Like, you know, some people kill themselves or try to kill themselves over a boyfriend or girlfriend leaving them. So I'm saying, take all of your problems that you think are worthy of you killing yourself, write them down on a piece of paper, go to a different country, and find someone, which you can find many of them, somebody dying of AIDS that watched as horrific it is, watch their dad get his face blown off by AK-47, you know, has no family, and like, you know, is literally just dying because dying of starvation. Hand him see if you have the fucking guts to hand him your list of why you want to commit suicide, when like that person's like has that going on and struggling to live. Because it's weird. We have this weird sense of things that we feel like we deserve. We feel, you know, in America especially, we feel, you know, when someone dies, like, think about it. I don't know if you've thought about this, but think about this. When someone dies, there's a funeral, and everybody's like, oh my, it might even be the newspaper, the obituaries, oh my god, this person died. Imagine going to a fucking war-torn country where people are just getting shot and killed like every day, like families, but when someone dies here, it's like, oh my god, someone died. And then like there, it's like, who died today? Like, who did we lose today? How many? I think, you know, music is not just writing music, but listening to bands like Brand New, very like dark, just pissed off bands, which the best thing I ever found was hardcore music, I think, for that, because that's when I, like, you know, started going to shows, and like when I was around 14, started going to shows, and the Pit was my favorite thing in the entire world. I don't even get in the Pit anymore, if that shows you how much I've changed, just because, not that I'm a pussy, but it's almost like I sound like a prima donna, and all my friends, or my hardcore friends, probably think I'm a pussy, but like, I hate getting in the face anymore. I used to hit in the face anymore. Like, you know, I used to get in fights. I didn't win a lot, but I used to get in fights. And okay, I mostly lost 99%. If I fought 100 fights in my life, I think I lost like 98 of them. But I fucking loved getting punched in the face. Like, it was my favorite thing in the world. Like, just, and then not in like the sadistic way, but it was like I felt something again. Like, you know what I mean? It was just in a world that felt so numb to me. And now, you know, I just don't like getting hit in the face anymore. But I look back, and in my own personal opinion of myself, I'm like, man, I was a selfish piece of shit. Like, absolutely selfish piece of shit. And now I've come to this realization. I'm taking more of a deep breath every morning. Like I said, I believe in God. Like, one of the coolest things that ever happened to me was I got on my knees. You know, I'm a bigger dude. I need to lose some weight. But I got on my knees one day, and I hate getting on my knees because it hurts. Started getting under the bed, and I started I'm explaining this all wrong. My remote fell all the way under my bed, and I had to get on my knees, okay? And I was like, oh my God. And then I stopped. I don't know what came to me, but I stopped and I said, even if you don't believe in God, I said, thank God that I have the ability to get on my knees to get this remote. And it's such a stupid fucking thing to think of, but that moment in my life, I was like, wow, like, I'm such a piece of shit. Like, you know, if I have to walk so many blocks, still to this day, it's more of a fat, lazy thing. If I have to walk so far, I'm like, oh God. And then I try to, like, slam it in my fucking head. Like, there's dudes that don't have, there's, you know, people, not just dudes, but there's people that don't have legs. And I'm sitting here 240 fucking pounds, stuffing my face with pizza this entire music festival. Like, oh my God, like, I have to walk somewhere? Jesus, oh God. Like, I gotta walk. Like, there's people that would trade me all they owned for my legs. And it's just, it all coincides with the suicide thing. Like, why? Why would I end something that so many people fight for? I like to believe in a higher power, but some people don't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with not believing in a higher power. I think, I don't go to church anymore. Well, I've still never stopped believing in God. But I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm saying I believe in God, and sometimes I feel like God intervened in that. And, you know, like I said, it's just one of those things where one day, I don't know when it was, just one day. It was in the past 2 years, and it wasn't like, you know, people were like, oh, because you got a record deal. I've wanted to kill myself since I got the record deal. Like, you know, it's not just, it wasn't that long ago that I came to this realization. But walking around naked in our hotel, and I was about to get in the shower, and I looked over at my friend, and I was like, you know, I did the fat bastard thing from Austin Powers. I was like, I eat because I'm sad, but I'm sad because I eat. Like, you know, and you start laughing, and I can joke about it, but it's literally what it is. Like, I eat so much, especially when I'm depressed. I do this shit, man, where I'll get really sad. I'll go to Taco Bell and order half the fucking menu and go home, watch The Office, and just slam food because I don't know what else to do. And so yeah, I definitely get fucking depressed, but not enough to kill myself. Because right now, I could get out of this car and in the rain, because a lot of people run in the rain. I can go do, you know, dead sprints in the rain, and then tomorrow work out, and then the next day work out, and I want to be, you know, do that continuously, and wouldn't be anywhere near as fat as I am now. And that's my choice, and that's me being lazy. So why would I kill myself over something I can control? I think what's happening with me is I'm just as fucked up as everyone else, but I've gotten a very cool outward viewpoint on it. Like, I know what's wrong with me. I know how to fix it. I just stop fixing it, if that makes sense. I have 4 absolutely stunning nieces, and a very handsome nephew that are my absolute world. My mother is my best friend in the whole world, and she needs me very much so. I love my dogs. One of my dogs is 13 years old, probably going to die soon, and I know he'd have a heart attack if I died. You know, that's probably the cockiest thing I'll ever say, is that my dog loves me more than anything in the world. But mainly, I mean, one thing all my songs have in common is romance. And I guess the idea of meeting someone that, you know, I could spend the rest of my life with, and, you know, because I've had the sex with girls that aren't my girlfriends before. I've done, you know, the 3-week girlfriends before that I didn't really like that much, but they were really hot, and they were fun to be around. And I've done that shit, man, but I haven't found a girl, like, you know, well, at least not yet, that's like, just, you know, sometimes I think I find them, and then I run from them. So for all I know, like I ran away from my soulmate like forever ago, at the girl I was supposed to be with. But then again, if I was supposed to be with her, I'd be with her, I feel like. So I don't fucking know, man. The idea of, I guess that's the biggest thing, is I have 4 nieces and a nephew, and there's nothing I want more of this world than to have a little girl. I want a little girl so bad that it's absolutely ridiculous. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say without going into it too much is that I never want my daughter to meet a guy like me. I feel like that's the one girl, my first daughter, because I want a boy too, but my first daughter will be the first girl that loves me as much as I love her. Because the fact of how hard I love women, I think it's a disease, like of how hard I love when I'm in a relationship. I feel like when I first have that child, it will be the first girl that loves me as much as I love her. And I think I know for a fact I'll do right by her, because I haven't done right by other women. But I know for a fucking fact that I will do right by her. And I think that right there is what keeps me going.
Well, I see you standing there, but your eyes are unaware that I've been staring at them all night, wishing the brain behind them cared. So is that what you call the getaway? Tell me what you got away with, 'cause I've seen more spiny jellyfish. I've seen more guts than 11-year-old kids. Have another drink and drive yourself home. I hope there's ice on all the roads, and you can think of me when you forget your seatbelt again when your head goes through the windshield.